All right, welcome. It is time as our heroes arise after a long rest as they uh, go forth having bested a mimic in a room or a room of a mimic or whatever we wish to call it, as are and awoken with various runes upon their head in the form of ashes, and that were glowing before, seemingly affecting their sleep in some strange way. They all had visions of various grandeurs and failures. And it is upon this awakening, with of course a way forward should they choose to go forward, do so, that we come upon them. Give them a little chance to fix any conversations they wish, as you all stand here in this room that now has only a little bit of remnants that your luggage could not devour to feed itself of the mimic. So with that, what would you like to do?
So, Bahamut?
Bless you.
Ours would look at Celicus, very interested.
No, that's Celicus.
Yeah. I don't get it.
You said Bahamut as you were looking at Celicus, and he said, no, that's Celicus.
I was talking about where we left off last episode. Ours
They
was
know
asking-
they were being assholes. The characters were.
Oh, okay.
You're all good.
That's just me being autistic then.
You're fine.
Everybody rested? We ready to go?
Right. So, Celicus, do you respond? Because they were trying to make a kill there.
I think Celicus would pointedly not respond.
Okay.
He would just go straight on, ignoring ours. Just like, no, we're not going there today.
What? How rude. So rude. Ours would brush himself off, use prestidigitation to make himself clean.
I was gonna
Dungeons
say,
are dusty and all. What's our next move? We got to continue deeper?
I think that is the plan. What do you think, Alaric? You've been rather quiet for a while.
Right. I was just wondering, how close are we to uncovering the riddle? You know, the one that's supposed to lead us to one of the 12 pieces?
Nowhere.
yeah, we've been real stuck on
We're doing the egg thing for the. We just saw the statue of the 500 dragon goddess, and we did all these rituals to get down to where we are currently.
Right.
Because, like I said several times to your group, you all have a problem focusing. So I'm just going with whatever you all want to do. But I was confused by that too. But in order to have passage down here, I think we have to do this thing for Grimshale. And so we started that to get this gemmer thing that is controlling the short kobolds. Yeah, that's it.
Right.
So we are nowhere near close to doing that because we haven't worked on that.
Oh, okay. Good, great. So I guess we have to keep going and find the controlling gem.
Yeah,
What
hard to
description
tell.
was offered for that gem, if someone could remind me?
Well, they called it the Heart of Tiamat. which is more than a little concerning.
She whispers secrets, knowledge, probably untold riches.
And it was a large crystal. Like if you're looking for a physical description.
The heart of Tiamat. Your dream was about a heart. The heart of Draconia. Do you think there's a correlation there, or just, total random universeness?
It's something to think about. Maybe there is.
Do you think with that many heads, Tiamat also gets easily distracted by different...
I don't know. I think the psychology of gods might be a little bit different than ours.
Celica's has found the nearest wall and is just kind of steadily tapping his forehead against it as if it will away the growing migraine in his head.
Celicus, you know something we don't.
Do I know
I think
stuff?
so. I think you do.
I mean, I think in theory we all know things that other people don't know.
Whisper. Now's not the time.
Okay, so let me put it this way, I guess. Clearly Celicus doesn't want to talk about it.
But I guess.
Would you like to talk about who's hunting you?
Bellaril.
No, that's who's hunting you.
How do you know someone's hunting me? What makes you think that?
Because you said something about the amulet would keep so-and-so from finding you.
Oh,
that's right.
Damn it.
But nobody's pressed you on that.
Yeah, but that's not relevant to what we're doing here. Celicus knows more about Draconia than the rest of us combined, and he's holding out on us. I want to know why.
What if the person hunting you shows up down here and kills one of us?
Well, then that's different, and it's relevant. I'll tell you all you need to know. I don't think that'll happen.
After one of us is dead.
Okay, so maybe I've
Alright.
let us
Why would they kill one
off
of you?
topic. So our goal is to complete these trials. Is that the plan we're going to go forward with? And then decide what to do with the gem if it is the heart of Draconia?
That sounds good. I mean, it'd be a waste to turn back now.
It's true. We did nearly risk death just getting this far. Might as well push forward.
Speaking of, and Alaric quickly makes several motions with his hand and whispers, Sabostron, and casts mage armor on himself.
Oh, hey, that's a good idea.
Okay. Ours would nod to Whisper in acknowledgement and raise up his arm where the sunburst bracers are placed, and he whispers into them. He says, Praesidium, and causes a soft, pale golden glow to glimmer over his skin momentarily as a celestial rune appears in the air. Casting Mage Armor.
Very good. You continue. Walking forward. You see scratched into somewhat carved stone, draconic writing. Seems fairly clearly made by kobolds that simply say, "Chosen ones only. Everyone else go back."
Well, that's us for sure.
Yeah, that's us.
We're the chosen ones now.
That's what the little one's name said we were, because
Very.
we
Yeah.
passed the
We
first
passed the test.
test. And I guess maybe that mimic was the second one. So we're like double of like worthy.
Twice chosen.
Yeah. See, Calder gets it.
If we're the chosen ones, who's the chooser?
Damn it. Isn't that obvious?
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
All right. Pushing forward, you come into a forage chamber. It's lined in its walls with a rusted, broken armor. The chamber is about 50 feet wide and extends a few hundred feet. You can see above there several forges that heat metal that is moved around this place. You can see many crucibles currently melting down various varieties.
Wait, the metal is being moved around the room?
The melted, yeah.
Hmm.
It's kind of being picked up by crucibles and moved and made. You don't see any people here. It just seems to be a mechanical.
Can we see where that is being taken? Is it being taken into another room, like the melted stuff?
See, some of it is being put into several like larger crucibles, it seems, that are being continually heated by forges that flames lift very high, or the heat kind of spans almost in beams of fire.
Does it look like there are any molds in here that the slag could be like poured into?
There may be, if you want to begin to fully investigate the room.
I guess it's the heat from the forges. Does that provide enough light to?
There's a good amount of light here.
Okay.
Alark, let me know if you need my magic eyes.
Sure.
Whisper
What are you
Eldritch
gonna do, man?
Calder.
Fair.
Well, I guess if anyone can see better than I can, but I was wondering if this
Whisper
was part of the next test, or I don't know.
You've been kind of quiet, the past couple weeks. I think maybe you should give more input. Do you think this is one of a further test? Which head's test do you think this is?
Well, I mean, with this much open flames,
So we've got to destroy it all.
Right.
Or conquer it.
No, when I realized that I didn't have a certain spell that I thought I did, I focused a lot of my attention on that and trying to make that a reality. It still needs some tweaking. But,
You know, you keep doing that. For somebody with as good a memory as yours, are you sure you don't need some kind of medication to help with that?
Probably, but
I hear almonds are good for the memory.
if we come across some, let me know. I don't know if we should trust cave almonds, but I guess.
Well, send Hockey to look around then if you're.
I was considering about to do that. We'll find out if Blitzvalka sets off any traps, and I will kind of close my eyes and transfer my sight and hearing to my falcon and send her off to down this 100-foot long or so corridor to see what I see.
While his sight and ears are with Blitzvalka, I'm just going off on like, oh, what if we find a cool other creature? Would you be willing to transform Hockey into that? Not realizing that Alark can't hear anything I'm saying.
There you go. Give me a perception check for Blitzvalka.
All right. Oh, it went from a nat 20 to a 2. So 6.
Doesn't it have keen sight?
Damn,
just another way it's worse than an owl.
Although I did notice that, like, because the new monster manual is out, they took away keen senses from wolves.
Yeah,
and they might have taken it away from other things too. I don't know.
They made a lot of decisions with the new monster manual.
I think most beasts lost keen sense.
Yeah,
like,
but they did increase the perception modifier.
Yeah.
So like wolves went from like 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So
anyway. As the bird flies around, you look through it. You can see. You see where it looks like for modes. Don't see any for weapons. As quickly as you kind of let them go by, can't tell exactly what they're for. Some of them are closed off, but it's more like maybe things that might be used to build or create, rather than be things in of themselves.
It was a super low roll, but can I determine the size of these molds? They look like they are for medium, larger.
Some are small, others are really large pieces.
Okay. I'm kind of just rattling off what I notice to everyone as this is as I'm observing it, and then she returns and lands on my shoulder, and my senses return to me.
So, what do you think? Like, what if we come across like a big spider? Would you be willing to turn Blitzvalka into like a big spider?
What? Why?
I was just telling you.
He's been talking to you this whole time, not remembering that you could hear.
Wait, you couldn't hear me?
No.
Okay, so let me start over.
Oh. Unfortunately, I couldn't make out anything more than that. So I didn't notice any traps or anything that I didn't see any constructs or is my necklace glowing?
What was that smell that the abominations told us that if we smelled it, we only have 6 seconds to live? Did we smell
think it was
that?
sulfur and brimstone type, which
Yeah.
is very distinctive. I think we might have smelled that when we entered the room.
But he said it kind of just pops up on you, and then once you smell it, then you have 6 seconds to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Matt, is there anywhere where maybe some of the liquid has sloshed over and fallen and cooled to try to determine what kind of metal it is?
I would say there do seem to be some pieces kind of in the middle that you could potentially investigate if you wanted.
Sure, I'll walk to the middle and I will investigate them.
Do you need a second pair of eyes?
Yeah, sure.
I come with.
Okay. Going over, you can see that, you recognize what appears to be a large gear about 3 feet in diameter that has been made here. It seems to be made from mithril. As you stand in front of it, the floor lowers about half an inch. And
One of us should have checked for traps.
Can I double check that with measure?
double check the half an inch.
Cast measure.
As you hear a little whistle go off and a
train is
lever being pulled, and above you a large crucible of mithril is poured down. I need dex saves, please.
Oh dear.
Oh, damn it. I was going to roll with real dice. 12.
My real dice failed me. 12.
Very good. Answer the question. Do you have
I lied. 9.
do either of you have metal armor on?
No.
No.
Studded leather.
I have
baby.
mage armor on.
Well, so with that, the molten mithril comes, and as you see, it spreads out, and something about it, as you see it hit some of the rusted metal on the edges of this place, pieces that do seem to solidify instantly and cool
Oh shit! Did we just release Grim?
in reaction. And however, as the molten hits you, it is not cooling, it is simply burning. as it blisters your skins, each for 20 fire damage.
Nice. Cool.
Whisper, Calder.
There's a trap. There's...
I Eldritch Blast Alaric before I die.
Ars sucks in his breath and holds a hand over his mouth. Squints his eyes and watches them.
Supora. As I give myself my temp HP back.
Okay, so you two are free to move as this continues to pour on you. What do you do?
I'd like to face step the hell out of there, 30 feet back towards the party.
Okay. Step back, moving
would-
as you can.
I will activate jump and jump back.
Ah!
Because neither of those spells cost me spell slots, so I can do them both.
Exactly. As you all run back to the party very quickly, a piece of the metal cooling with your blood and kind of melting with your skin.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I try to
Okay, so-
digitate the metal away. I see it as dirty, so I'm trying to get it off.
GM is not meant to work. This is meant for me to be silly.
Is it possible with prestidigitation for ours to clean off the metal?
I mean, I guess you shine it up a little bit.
Oh, man.
So now it's nice and
Oh, no.
reflective.
It didn't work.
Easy
It
to be
was some-
seen by dark vision creatures.
Oh. Don't worry, we're gonna fix you guys up.
Is it
Yeah.
possible with healing magic
Yeah.
and my smith's tools I can remove
God.
something?
Do you think it'll be harder for me to take damage right now? Do I get a +1 to AC?
Well, it looks like you have some permanent armor now.
Unnatural scales.
Wow, that looks like it hurts.
Right. I'll take a cure wounds, and you can roll smith tools with advantage if your desire is to remove the metal.
Okay. So ours and Celicus are gonna work in tandem to try and okay. Okay, if you can just get the metal out, I can close the oh man, that looks ugly.
Whisper
What
thinks
ex-
to himself,
What
"I wonder
exactly would I
if
roll
would
for
prefer
smith's
if he would have checked
tools?
for traps."
Do dexterity.
Okay.
You talking shit, Bobby?
Whisper's thinking shit.
That would be 17, and then I add my proficiency because I'm proficient,
Yes.
right? So that makes it 19.
Very good. Who do you work on first?
Let's start with Whisper because Whisper doesn't have temp HP like Calder.
Okay. So banging off Celicus hits metal, which rips your skin off. Here, in very quick order, and then you feel it. Then the pain of it being stitched back together by Ars's magic. But at the end, you're good to go.
We heal 11
Covered
hit
in
points.
metal.
Thank you. Hey, that's mithril. It's worth money.
Oh. Well, I'm surprised you were able to even think about that. I'd be freaking out a little bit more if I was, melting.
But it's molten.
It's very important for a performer to know her audience, and I know this audience.
It's molten though, so we can't even use it to cover our gold coins. And we can't.
Oh, wow, you're smart.
Cool, eventually.
We can't ask Sammy to just try to slurp it up. He might die.
Surely he's tough enough.
All right,
His
Calder.
name is Sammy, not Shirley.
Hold still.
Is the mithril being pulled off of them
Ugh.
still molten in nature, or is it cooled?
It is that those bits have cooled.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, Bobby, you do have about 10 golden mithril that's hardened around you.
Calder, I rolled a 15 total.
Okay, that was high enough.
Okay.
All right.
But there's pieces of blood and skin in the pieces, but it's fine.
It's mine because my skin's on it.
And Calder, you heal 10 hit points as ours is pale golden radiance dispels the pain and mends your wounds back together.
I collect my mithril skin patches and add it to my dragon hoard of Electrum.
This gives a whole new meaning to the word blood money.
It's more like skin money, but
Matt,
Yes.
did all of my dolls get destroyed?
no,
Yeah.
they're just mithril coated now.
So technically not, because you were wearing or carrying them.
Okay.
I mean, that is gear does not. It's D&D. There's like a protective field around things you have in your bags.
Not you, but your items. They're protected. You have insurance on those.
I mean, otherwise, every time someone got breathed on fire, I'd be like, "Sorry, y'all, naked." If you don't have metal, and then I mean, it would just get that. We'd go places that we don't need to go.
Good, because that's lots of hours of work.
I have a shenanigan question.
Sure.
Okay,
Just the singular? The
Yes,
one
just-
shenanigan?
just one. It might tree out to a whole bunch of others, but for so far right now, it's one. Okay. For the mithril that's like falling, is there a way that I can put my axe into it to thinking like it might get better, even though it might break without breaking the curse?
Are you trying to purify your axe with molten mithril?
Yeah, like,
That's
you
sick.
know, like you gotta use fire to like burn diseases sometimes. Like,
So for one, it's not anywhere near you, so you'd have to go up.
Oh.
Because they went to the center of the room, so about 50 feet away. Where it
but
poured.
if I go up to it and
Well, so because y'all were talking, looking, you actually see, you hear like several levels being pulled above, and where it's still, where the mithril hasn't touched any of the rusted pieces. It is still liquid, and there's various crucibles and whatnot coming in, like scooping it up.
The stuff that got poured on the floor as part of the trap is now being scooped up.
Yeah,
Ah.
as best as it can. Other than that, it's like flowing, hit some of the rusted pieces, and you see as it does, like it then almost hardens and essentially recoats those rusted pieces, making mithril coatings around them. It's instantly cool. So if you do want to run up there, that's fine. We can see what happens.
no, I don't think Xanthus would run up there because
How heavy is your
I feel like-
axe?
How what?
How heavy is your axe?
It is. Oh, that's a really good question.
Because I know a
7
great sword is
pounds.
6 pounds. Mage hand that bitch.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I would like to use. Okay, like I don't want to like go and like down this road if it's like gonna like dampen like what you have planned. Like, could I do like mage hand like pour the axe, like thinking like it was somehow get purified?
So you want to see if that can destroy the curse of the axe? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm thinking like it'll either destroy the axe or like at least make it better. Like I'm thinking like it won't cause harm to it. If anything, it'll make it better, or like by strengthening it, making it mithril worth more money or
That's a
something.
great question. Do you consider the mage hand a part of yourself?
I wouldn't think so. Like, right?
Because Luke posed the question, can you even let the mage hand take the axe away from you?
Right.
Even though it's your mage hand?
Oh,
Indeed.
dude, this axe sucks. Okay.
Yes.
Well, no, it would be a part of me because like I'm controlling it, so like I still have control of it. But I'm okay if I get overruled on this as well.
I think it makes sense.
Isn't there a thing like
so
you can't
here's the
remove-
thing. You don't quite understand the implications against players if I rule that the mage hand is you touching something. The negative implications of that are quite immense, so therefore I'd have to rule that it is not. Because mage hand is often used as a way to go, like, I do this, therefore if there was some mind control effect, it's not going to hurt me because my mage hand is doing it. That's often how mage hand is used. So, and that's almost its purpose, especially for trickster rogues. So I feel like it would not, based on how we tend to use mage hand.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for going down this path of shenanigans with me.
I do have an interesting based on like Xanatos's demeanor and them looking between their axe and this fall. Can I kind of discern what they might be planning, even though they haven't said any of this out loud?
I mean, it's up to you. I think you can rule how your character would. If you want to roll insight and make your own DC, you can.
Okay. My insight's not the best, but it's not the worst. I got over a 10. I got 11.
I feel like Xanatos is a bit more mysterious than that.
I highly disagree. Like, I think especially like with this axe and just realizing just recently, like, holy crap, this thing is like a burden and it's like causing things that I don't realize are happening, but I think are real. And so I think that's like him like being quiet, just he keeps like looking at the axe and like looking around, like that's all he's focused on right now instead of the room.
Okay. I think 11 is at least high enough for Alaric to ask out loud. Xanatos, if you don't mind, what are you thinking?
Well, whenever there's a wound and you cauterize it, the heat destroys it. And so with the mithril of how Whisper and Calder just got burned, if I put the axe into it, it might sterilize the curse. Or I'll just make it mithril and I'll make it even stronger, possibly.
Looking at these forges, if Xanatos were walking along the ceiling or the walls, could he get access to dip his weapon into one of these?
If you got high enough, though, I would say recall that you did hear like levers being pulled.
Yeah.
So it might not be alone up there, but yeah, being able to go up the walls could be beneficial. Or could do what you would like.
Interesting thought. Do you have a strong enough whetstone to sharpen the mithril if this works? Because you're not likely to keep a good edge by just dunking it in. Maybe take Celicus with you. He's pulled those things out of me real good. Maybe he can hammer an edge onto it.
That's fair. I think dunking a weapon into mithril is a fairly different process than trying to forge something from mithril.
Yeah, I would say with Celicus being a smithy, would be able to ultimately know the mithril here isn't going to make the blade better. It could raise its price a little bit just because mithril is a little more expensive, but it would. The benefit of it would be one could potentially add another enchantment because of upon the mithril.
Mithril's a type of silver, right?
No, I don't believe it is related to silver.
Yeah, it's its own ore.
Yeah, it's entirely separate. Yeah,
magical, but it's silvery looking.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I was like, maybe it counts as silvered for specific creatures.
I think it looks silver, like from like descriptions of it, but
yeah, mithril is usually used because of its lightweight relative to its hardness. So it's used more to make armor or like a weapon that would normally be two-handed but could be weirded with one because it's lighter than it would normally be. That's usually its use rather than making like it do more damage necessarily. Or being sharper. It's more like
Oh.
as hard as like regular plate armor, but lighter.
Yeah.
Not harder than.
So, Matt, the gear that we saw, does it look it could fit inside a construct that was also silvery, almost mithril in color?
It does.
You don't think this is where they make
The constructs,
the
yes.
constructs? I killed your friend.
That was my. I kind of had that thought when I was looking around the room, but I couldn't get a good enough look to.
Does
But
this
that does make
stuff
sense.
now that Alaric has said that, does this lead to another room where like maybe this is like the base building, but then in another room it's gonna be like magic building, like where it puts like makes it animate? There's like something on the ceiling that leads to another place.
Are you is Xantos asking this, right?
I'm asking the GM. Is there something on the roof that like connects to another room? Thinking that like if this just based on what Alaric said, if this is like where the constructs are being made, maybe the magic is in another room and it's like leading to there.
The roof is a
leaves the
series
party.
of gears and pulleys and things that seem to be moving stuff around. It's hard to see what may or may not be up there because these are constantly moving and then blocking your sight. I would say, everyone give me a perception check at this point.
Sorry, Bobby. I get
Everyone?
beside keywords.
Oh no, I rolled.
Yes, everyone.
Sadness.
4.
Bobby, roll with your real dice.
I did. I got a 17.
I got a 5.
16.
Okay, I'm not going to use lucky. I'm just going to roll normal.
Okay.
Ooh, 15.
Right. So as long
11.
as you begin to see that there occasionally are these snouted humanoid kobolds, as you've come to see them, or roughly humanoid, that look down and sneer, almost waiting for you to come in as they purling levers and these like chair they seem to be sitting in are like whirling around the room as they pull other levers, and they are maneuvering everything in here, causing this whole forge to work.
Neat little setup they have here.
Just for clarification, did you say this whole forge or the soul forge?
Whole forge.
Okay, well, thanks.
Decent clarification.
And now that we've noticed that, what are they? Are there platforms up there that they're kind of standing on?
They're like sitting in chairs that seem to be suspended by a lot of the gears and catwalks and various things that they themselves are moving, like move around as they pull levers.
Gotcha.
Like it looks like a almost as though a track for it comes down. They simply roll down a track as you think they'd fall off. Another track comes in, changes their direction.
And sorry, what do these things look like?
Kobolds.
Kobolds.
Kobold.
I'm indicating that they are of dragon ancestry.
Now
Because
they
we're
are.
in Monster Manual 2024.
Do we have a guess at how many there are?
With the scores you all have, you seem to see 4 distinct ones. They're checks that you did.
At least one more than there was yesterday.
Sorry, did you say 4 to 6? I missed it. The number of gold.
4 is what I meant to say.
Okay.
So one of them named Ezekiel, perchance.
No.
So, Xanatos, Celicus, you gonna talk to our buddies?
They know common. Anyone can talk to them.
Yeah, but if you approach somebody with their language, they're usually more open to then switching to like your language if they know it. Like you got to make the attempt to like submerge yourself in the culture.
I don't think they like us by default.
Hello up there! Celicus calls out to the kobolds.
Okay. As they begin to one kind of takes a lever and it stops, looking down. Thieves and those who seek to steal. Ha!
We're and Celicus kind of suppresses
Smelly!
like a like an urge to just like vomit a little bit, and he's like, we are undergoing the trials of the great Tiamat.
Mention how we're twice chosen.
Ours would snicker.
And I think, like, as Celicus is talking, that I don't know if like this is part of like the gift from Grimshield, but like since with the majestic presence of a dragon, like try to like amplify and show that to the kobolds above.
Interesting.
We have solved her riddle and destroyed the great treasure mimic thus far.
Yeah. You can't fool me. You stink of Grimshale. They are not welcome here. Tiamat says, get out.
We have encountered this Grimshale.
I think Xanatos will use Dragon's Voice, like for his bonus action, and he'll yell up to the kobolds, "Do not presume to speak for who we work with or who we not. You are supported of Tiamat, and we are in the trials. You will succumb and obey us."
And is there any manipulation on that one or no? Or is it just you're just using it?
It just makes your let's say you can make your voice audible up to 300 feet away, and so like I'm just guessing like to make it like sound like really close to them. Like I'm guessing it's like a booming voice type thing.
Yeah.
Like that combined with like thaumaturgy or whatever.
Go ahead and give me intimidation check.
If you're using thaumaturgy, to do with advantage.
Oh, say! Don't move. That's a natural 20.
Oh damn, dude!
Nuts.
Very nice. In that case, as you yell out, they kind of. As you pull a lever and the chair goes even lower now, just kind of 30 feet above the ground in the center of the room. I don't want trouble, but we keep Grimshare and all outsiders out of here.
And as my friend had just said, we know Grimshell, but we are not working for it. And we are not outsiders. We are in the trials of Tiamat.
They look hard.
Yeah, you guys gonna switch back to common? So that way the rest of us can get in on this.
No, Calder, you told us to speak this way. So you're asking. So shut up.
I mean, they haven't attacked us yet, so it seems like it's going well so far.
Hey,
We're lucky we're not in the Fey domain. We'd be dead by now.
They overlook you slowly. Maybe we let you through to final trial. Fine. If you renounce the one that gave you such powers, don't think she'll care for you, but that is up to her.
There's some bold ass kobolds.
It's in their name.
Working, Anything you'd like to do?
What did he say?
They're considering letting us in for the final trial.
So are there just
we gotta
two
renounce
trials?
Grimshell, though.
Oh,
Before?
great. Ask them what their problem is with her. And also, why they stopped working for her.
Yeah.
Why did you guys renounce Grimshell? Is it because the great and mighty Tiamat is better? Because obviously, from what I gather,
I didn't say feed them the answer. I said ask them the question. Sorry. That's a lot of draconian for one question.
It's not a 1-to-1.
I apologize. I would not understand what you were asking, so forget I said anything.
They narrow their eyes a little bit. Grimshell. Oh, threatened to eat us, yes. And asked us to get shiny blue crystal. But then we approached. And she spoke through it. Her touching voice, ensuring us that she will keep us safe. All of us.
Well, I mean, I renounce Grimshale.
I think Xanatos will look to the group and tell them, like, okay, like, I think we have to be careful to what we're saying here because it can get back to Grimshale. And so I think we have to be very careful of the words that are chosen.
Mm,
Wait, so what was their answer? Yours,
Yeah, the answer. They responded.
if I thought it was in Draconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume like we.
The decision's been made to keep this conversation in Draconic, so
Yeah. I would try. I would translate it. I would translate it.
wait, so a blue crystal.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm guessing what the Tiamat part of Tiamat is.
Doesn't
We
like the blue crystal isn't like brimstone blue in general?
Yes.
I was actually kind of curious if it produced blue flame. You know what ran the constructs?
This crystal, does it produce blue flame by any chance?
Blue flames, blue flames. Yes, sometimes.
He says sometimes.
Yes.
we never exactly swore ourselves to Grimshell's service, though, did we?
Well, you already kind of convinced them not to pursue that, so.
No, I mean, there's been diplomacy between us, but it's not like we're her servants exactly. We're not loyal to her.
All right, so clarifying question: are the kobolds just waiting for us to say we renounce Grimshell and then they'll let us go? Is that like
No,
what's missing?
not necessarily. You're just all standing where they can't quite get you right now. So there's just a little bit of a standoff, that's all.
But they said that they would take us to the room, right?
Yeah, you guys just haven't really done anything.
So,
okay, all right.
would-
I thought they were waiting for us to say like the magic words, like we renounce. Like that's where
Okay.
I was thinking.
So which way to the trial? I call out in common.
Yeah. And they push some levers, and this little catwalk kind of lowers down, allowing you to walk without pressing pressure plates across the room.
Because yeah, it makes sense that only Tiamat could judge us. And I start walking across.
Thank you, Mr. Kobolds.
All right. With that, let's go there. Oh my gosh, let's go ahead and take our break, and then we will come back. Realize I didn't do the timer, so we'll just let us get here. Should be where it needs to.
So I didn't mention it earlier, but I've had quite a week of interesting developments.
Really?
One, my pipes froze.
Oh.
Then, to compensate for the pipes freezing, we turned all of the furnace up so that it could help like mitigate the fact the pipes were frozen. But it turns out the pipes weren't frozen in the house; they were frozen out in the well house. So we didn't realize that until after we ran out of oil. So then we had no oil. We still don't have oil. So, but today, my mom and one of her friends fixed the pipe situation out in the well house by replacing everything, because that's what happens sometimes. And they replaced everything. It's all good. We have running water. However, there is no heating. So we have to wait until tomorrow for the oil to get here. It is cold.
I'm so sorry, Molly.
But I have my warm socks.
It's good. My gosh, keep safe and warm. That is not good. Especially over there.
It says it's 21 degrees out.
How is it in your house?
Not bad. According to my thermometer over here, it says it's just under 70. So not bad. It definitely doesn't feel like it, but that's because I'm right in front of a window that has no storm window.
Gotcha.
So I compensate for it with a couple layers of cardboard.
I have done that. All right, so as we are back, Bridge had come down to lift you all up. A catwalk to go across. And you begin walking thusly. Now, as you do, you come forward to a door, and the smell of rot hits your noses as the door opens at your approach. You've walked through this vast mechanical insanity where the kobolds are at work pulling levers and jumping and kicking over crucibles to make what you've correctly discerned is some of these machines, these golems, constructs. And in this room, there are many kobold bodies, corpses strewn about, holes in various places. And on the far side, you can see what appears to be a round door. Several runes are in it, and there is a cup, like a bowl, really, attached to the door.
And how far away from us is this door?
30 feet.
I guess I needed. What's the lighting like in this room?
Here it would be entirely dark.
Oh, so I see nothing.
But do the two people see them?
Whisper, do you want to tell him or should I?
I'll describe it for you with my dark vision.
Yeah, what do we see?
Pile of bodies. Kobold bodies.
There are holes in them, and somehow I have a feeling there might be a trap between us and the door.
Wait, the holes are in the kobolds, or the holes in the walls and the floor? And
Holds in the kobolds.
oh, okay.
Holes are in the holes. Speaking of, are there holes in the walls and the floors?
Are they hollow?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage, I guess. There, Celicus.
Ours could give him
Hey,
help to balance it out.
Sure.
I had already rolled, so
Okay.
it's an 8.
Yeah, so
Wait. Okay. So ours would simply touch his index finger and his middle finger and his right hand to his own forehead, and then down again on his shirt. And he would cause his shirt to glow with a soft, pale radiance, providing golden light, so that Alark and Xanatos can see. So bright light for 20 feet, dim light for 20 feet beyond that.
Are the kobolds hollows?
Hollows. They don't seem like they look like they've been hollowed out, no. Just
Are all
rotting from
holes
being
in the same
pierced.
place?
No, the various places around the room. Though many seem to be near the door. And thus lit, you can see the door itself now. There is a small claw-shaped indentation on it that drips with dried blood. And a draconic inscription that reads, "Only those who honor Draconia's legacy may pass. Spill what is owed." The runes glow faintly now, pulsing like a heartbeat.
This is where we bleed Silicus.
Seems so.
So you're resigned to your fate? Nice. This will make it easier. I hand you a dagger. I see you've got like a dozen
You think
daggers
it's-
on. You give me my dagger back.
More than just about the blood, though.
You think some of our mithril skin chips will count?
No. So far, we've been given dreams. One person who got a dream was about protecting Draconia. You're now challenged with a door that says only those who are true to Draconia can pass. Give
Those
what
who
is owed.
honor.
Honor. Sorry. Basically, if you're not here to screw over Draconia,
I mean, I did turn down a throne to rule over them. I feel like that's not being here to harm Draconia. Unless you're talking about Celicus' dream, but I don't remember what he said, if I'm being honest.
He said he had a. Never mind.
okay.
And now that there's light and I can see, did you say there were more bodies near this door than other places?
Yes.
So
I wonder.
does that mean whatever they offered was incorrect?
Salicus,
What?
in case you fail this test and get horribly mangled by a trap, maybe it would be best if Whisper gave you the platinum ring that I gave her, and then I could cast the protection spell on you, the warding bond. That would transfer a portion of whatever suffering might be inflicted on you also onto me, and split it between us.
So Lucas kind of like looks back and forth between everyone's. So by that insinuation, I'm going all the way up there by myself.
I mean, I offered to go. I thought my thing made sense.
I will be 30 feet behind you, and if you get hurt, I will too. But hopefully, the disbursement, me taking on a portion, will make sure that you survive whatever happens. Or, I don't know, maybe we'll both die, but let's hope that doesn't happen.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Whisper's thinking in her head. Was another oath sworn to Grimshale? And does she know enough Fey wordplay shenanigans to get herself out of said oath if it was taken? I mean, not that she's necessarily as bound to it as a Fey might be, but
Give me, I would say, Arcana or History.
okay. I know. I'll use this GM Balo die and it won't ever do me wrong.
The official.
I mean, I'm sure 8 will help me figure that out.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait, I'm human. And I haven't used it yet. I'm using my heroic inspiration.
I was about to ask.
That's a 14, which is better than 8. But may not be enough. No. 15.
15. Okay. So, and which was this, Arcana or History?
It was Arcana.
Okay. So, in understanding how Fey bargains work, you know that they're most powerful in the Feywild when it seems like the rule of the land itself tends to enforce it. It's woven in. Outside in the material plane, it is more that the Fae simply demand such things to their own power, or in bargains or deals they've made with other entities that might lower a creature's natural defenses. With dragons, the nature draconic bargains are such that the being themselves enforces the rules as they see fit. So wiggling out is a matter of convincing or getting the draconic entity to agree with you. It is more what they feel. It is not by the letter or by trickery or use of words. It is more what they wanted out of the deal.
Okay.
Alaric, he's all about them runes. The ones that I see glowing on this round door, do I recognize any of them?
Give me Arcana.
It's cocked. Ooh, 21.
21. You see, these are very clearly runes dealing with hemocraft or sangromancy. From that, meant to fuel. Able to get this door is magically sealed. And that they would require a blood price to momentarily deactivate.
Well, the runes kind of confirm what we guessed, that one of us or several of us have to offer up blood to open up this door. But I'm not sure how much or from whom.
Well, I really think that I can't give my blood because of what Grimshell truly gave me. And I feel if my blood is spilled that Tiamat, how the kobolds reacted, things are going to go bad.
I'll do it.
I'll go with you.
Uh,
I swear I
Calder,
always
you can
do
come
this.
too. You can come too. You just start walking forward.
If you guys get hurt, I guess I'll just patch you up again.
Celicus is going to kind of like be really kind of trepidatiously walking into this area of dead bodies because like he totally thinks like the section between is probably trapped. So
Please
he's
don't
just
die, guys.
And I think Xanthus will be like looking up, like how Selk is looking for traps. Xanthus like looking up and around.
Okay. I think you both can give me perception checks.
I'm not strong enough to fix death yet, guys. So please don't die.
15.
Sorry, it's taking really long. 18.
Okay. So you both look. Within the ceilings and the walls are tiny, thin slats that have been carved in. Maybe 100 or so or more. Not even half an inch wide.
Okay, I would relay that to the group. Like, hey, watch out. These slats. Something bad. Like that play, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think things can shoot out.
I love that movie.
Play. Okay. So, carefully watching all this, you walk over the smelly and putrid bodies that have been left here to rot. Seems none really wish to come this way. You stand before the door and the inscription, the indentation. What do you all want to do?
So are we doing this one at a time, or are we all mixing together?
Well, I guess I'll
I'm
start.
Right here.
And Zelicus holds his hand out for that dagger.
I do, in fact, have a dagger.
Thank you very much. Cuts his palm and puts it in the bowl.
Okay. So that will be, as you let it go in, 5 HP. And as it fills, it moves up and then pours as it outlines the runes. And an angry red flash emerges as sharpened blades fill the room.
Called it.
And I need deck saves from those 3.
Kind of regretting using my heroic inspiration.
I'm going to use my recap inspiration right now.
Yeah, I'm going to use mine because I rolled a 5.
21.
Ooh.
22.
It was worse. I rolled a 1.
Okay. So Carter fails, Celicus and Whisper seem to succeed. Due to some low rolling on the GM's part, the fail gets 9 slashing damage. And Celicus and Whisper take 4. I only say these things, so sometimes I'll say a number and people get overconfident and then shock when the number triples.
Supora.
So Whisper would
I?
like to pull her dagger. And she says, I renounce Grimshale, all the gifts that were given. And in answer to the choice given, I choose Protector. And she cuts her hand and lets the blood flow.
Okay. It flows in the cup that is returned. And it rises. It runs through the runes. And now they glow a soothing blue. And thusly bathed in the light. Whisper, you do feel the blessings of Grimshare depart. As it turns. And the door opens. going a short passage that makes a curve ahead.
And then run through the door before it closes.
You all go,
Yes, they're walking forward. Yep.
Everyone runs in.
It's like when someone is going into a gated community and you have to go as fast as you can
Following behind
behind the person that opened the gate.
That was so obnoxious. That was a gate guard, and I would have to like try and get the plate number.
Oh no.
Write an incident report.
all right.
So it just lets everybody through.
Yeah, as you all run as quickly as you can.
All right, and once they're past, ours is going to look over mostly Seleucus and Whisper, but also Calder. How is everyone looking?
I'm fine.
He's
All right.
already playing nurse. Okay.
Unscathed, you could say.
Well, let's hope you remain that way. If it changes, though, let me know. Goodness. Seems wherever I go, I'm mothering people.
That's rich. We're not. So what's in this room?
This chamber is immense. Looks beautifully carved from obsidian and sapphire veinstone, with mosaic murals of dragon bloods, building, researching, achieving great things, inventing, with columns shaped like dragon spines stretching toward the ceiling. It's a slightly cracked crystal dome, and you can see from within it, through the crack, stone blue energized insects that you've seen before outside of the Kobold Caverns come in, whoosh, almost falling, their blue light fading before they come towards the center of the room, to an altar of black marble, where this blue crystal stone sits, pulsing with a slow rhythmic glow. There's a low thrum that vibrates through the stone. You can feel it in your teeth. Around it, looking paralyzed, unable to take their eyes away, 5 kobolds, their eyes gone completely white, who murmur. As they do, you can see bits of, it seems like the inside of their mouths detach and get carried by this blue force of light and move through cracks going out to others. They whisper things. She has chosen us. Build, and seem to be whispering instructions, things to build. It's all defensive measures. Keep out the dragonkin. None of dragon may come near. As well as really plans and ways to build things. And even through the crack above, you can see just the bottom of what appears to be a large plate that seems to be rotating.
This place is magnificent.
Are the words coming from the kobolds in Draconic?
Yes.
Yo, the aesthetics of this place match my vibe perfectly. All the black and red.
Celicus would translate what like the kobolds are saying and stuff. And just because I'm thinking it, and because I feel like Celicus would too, are all the kobolds distinct colors?
As you look, it's a little strange. It's almost as if they've marked themselves. One has chosen to bleed to be red. Another looks like they've burned parts of their clothes to make white ash. But they do represent the colors, so they don't seem to be naturally that way. And you, all as you stare here, you see a flurry of these blue stone bugs that have been energized fly towards your heads, and they bite at your ears, start to crawl inside. Alaric.
Yeah.
You stand in the grandest library you have ever seen. It rises thousands of feet. Dragons fly around to read as you realize all the secrets of the Draconic Age seem to be here. Books of platinum, ruby, knowledge that can surpass the gods. And you hear in your head, they will take it from you. They are afraid of what you could become. Protect this.
Looking around the room, if I look at my own hands, do I look the same?
You do.
And do I see any open texts nearby?
Once you kind of have this desire and start to kind of manipulate, you are kind of drawn out and back to the room.
Do I still feel bugs in my ear?
You do.
No, I try to pull that out. I like that.
Kind of. You kind of feel them kind of crawling deeper.
No, thank you.
You go. You're having a hard time necessarily grabbing them right now. No, I don't like that at all. I want to try something. Okay, before I try. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Give me a moment, because
Yeah,
everyone's kind of experienced. Like, so, I like it, but Xanatos, you see yourself leading an army, clad in draconic armor, thick and black, unbreakable. People yell your name in reverence and respect. You were meant for more than to be Grimshale sycophant. Protect me from her. And this could be you.
Am I able to like respond to this thing? Or is it just like this is happening and then that's it? Like
It kind of happens and you're kind of drawn back out.
got it. Okay, cool. Got it.
And then, I'm sorry if I get this. Was there anyone else who didn't get a vision last time? I do apologize. Whisper.
Hang on, I have the list. Calder had one, ours had one, and I had one.
Okay.
So it would be Alaric, Xanatos, Whisper, and Orion.
And who?
Orion.
Obi.
Right, Obi, yeah. Right. So, Whisper Strange into this. And Calder, right? So, Calder, you see gold beyond measure. There are statues where people bow to the deeds you've accomplished. To give.
I'm getting a second one, just to confirm.
I thought Calder didn't get one. I was a little.
It was
confused.
Whisper that didn't get
Okay.
one.
Xanatos, Alaric, Whisper, Orion. They have
Okay.
not gotten a vision.
I don't know why I got. That's what I thought initially. That's why I got confused when my. Okay, my apparently didn't say it. I'm just
Whisper's not really a part of the party, guys.
Here's my
She's just here
coffee.
for the ride.
I knew Whisper needed one. I just was taking care because I was confused.
Just FYI, in my last campaign, my second character became a villain later on. Just FYI.
So
Well,
what
that's
you're
pretty cool.
saying
I'm sorry.
is that we have to kill Whisper before she goes bad.
It's metagaming.
Whisper. You see the ones you love. Safe. Tell us, actually, what do they look like? Who are these people?
Man, I'm not ready for you to throw things my way. So, Whisper has her adopted parents, who one is they're both middle-aged. One is a very strong, muscular woman, dark hair, like olive color skin. And as Whisper said before, she's a shipbuilder. She works on ships. Her father is slightly shorter than her mother, and isn't quite as built. He is again a leather worker who is again sort of olive skin, dark hair. Then she has 3 step siblings. One, who is the oldest, takes after the mother and is very much into the shipbuilding and works along the docks with her mom. She's got a brother who is sort of the family all has the same general characteristics. They're all dark hair, with them being above average height. They're all pretty tall, and he is dressed similar to maybe like what Calder and Obi would dress like. In fact, maybe sometime in a distant past, they may have had some sort of work together. So he is in his late 20s. The oldest sister is just about 30. And then the next sibling, who is also older than Whisper, if the memory could, it shines brightest on this person. She and Whisper have gotten along really well. They've always been really close to each other. And one time when Whisper and this person were running around the docks playing by the ships being built, this person accidentally caused Whisper to fall from a ship they were climbing. I might be missing up character histories. Anyway, so that's sort of who she sees. But I think, if I may, Matt, beyond that, Whisper would, I think, see what the purpose of Draconia is, what the rebuilding is. A home.
Indeed. Secure, safe, no enemies. All is lost if you give it away. If you sacrifice what you could become. And now, all of you are back. And I know Alark is not happy with these bugs.
No. I don't even know if this will work. I think, but I'm going to try it. Quickly, it's going to begin casting spell, and he just says, "Evil Schrift," and Misty steps backwards, hoping to leave the bugs behind.
Give me intelligence saving throw.
Neat. Nat 20, 26.
You feel as you channel this power that they're already trying to bond with your being and manipulating the magics precisely. You're able to sever it and get away. You find your mind clear. You see them. They're returning to the stone, to the crystal to recharge.
Oh. Do I see the bugs on Whisper and Xanatos?
At this point, they would have gotten in, but you were able to see that they kind of came to all of you.
Oh, so they're on everybody.
Yes. So just as a way of doing this, all of
see.
you are experiencing visions. I was just trying not to have to go through 7 visions every time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take half here, and then half,
Yeah, okay.
just to keep it interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Oh man, I see everybody getting infected. That's not great.
So essentially, we're receiving like the vision that we had before. It's like it's replaying again, kind of thing.
Yeah, probably a little more further, more direct. Now mentioning Grimshale, mentioning do not give this to them.
I would like to resist, and I have like a logic reason why,
Sure.
if like you need
Yeah.
one. But so I think Xantos would try to resist because what the vision showed him is something that he has never wanted before, ever. He has gone to the point, like before when he was a true paladin, yes, like he wanted to be revered, but he's now gone down the path where being alone has been more beneficial to him.
Mhm.
And with Grimshale specifically, Grimshale is the only one that has given him a gift in like a transactional way where we did something for them, they responded, and they were upfront about it. No trickery, like no deceiving. It was very upfront. And so I think with that, yeah, like he would be resistant to this vision.
Okay. In that case, none of these are going to be good, so we'll do a wisdom saving throw.
I'm used to those. Yeah. Looks like 11.
Okay. So you kind of realize something's messing with you a bit, but you feel more of your mind being invaded by the crystal, regardless of your attempts to push back as if you're fighting. So I think the visual here is that just kind of comes to their knees as a bit of blood comes from their ears as they're forcefully trying to resist this. Arj, you haven't had a lot of chances to do much, so I want to and roll out a carpet for you.
Awesome. So, as this bug enters Arz's ear, he's going to let out a little eep and try and prevent it from going in, but he's not fast enough.
It's not that what?
He lets out a noise as the bug gets into his ear.
Okay.
He tries to get it out.
So you're just kind of grabbing. Okay.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do.
So, what's his vision consisting of? Like, what's he seeing? This thing wiggle
You had a vision last time, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's on that. It's the same. For yours specifically, you more see standing upon a peak of a building. You look down and see what you kind of know to be Draconia. And you look out and you see some statues that are modeled from you. I think that say our protector, one who saved us, our guide. And as you look out past the city, you see a mountain you've never seen, at least not physically. It's impossibly tall. Bright beings, winged, fly around. And steps ascend to you. And you hear the voice. You can prove yourself and return to the mount.
Okay, out of game. Just to clarify, ours is he's from his father's an Elysian angel. He's not from Mount Celestia.
Okay. Very well. We will translate then for that.
Sorry.
You're fine. And at any rate, you see the Elysia. And being welcomed before your vision fades as it says, "Don't give it away to the Shadowed One."
Okay. Ours would suck in his breath. This has definitely rattled him, of course. Ours is very sensitive about his celestial heritage. But he doesn't like the fact that this thing is still in his ear. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't trust it. Out of my body. I will not have you contorting my mind. I will choose my own path forward. And he's going to try and get the bug out. You're frozen, by the way.
Hmm?
Oh.
How so? What are you? What might you be doing to do that?
Well, might be a little bit of flavoring, but ours would try and build up positive energy within himself to try and expel this contaminant.
Okay. Just go ahead and give me a wisdom save.
All right. Oh, goodness. And I will be using lucky before I roll.
All right.
All right. And that is an 18 on the wisdom saving throw.
As you do, you kind of it's flash as these things fly, and as they fly out, they seem to throw visions of these monolithic pedestals standing and crumbling.
That was deeply unpleasant. And he would look at the others.
The people that look like they might still have bugs in them kind of look lost in the sauce.
I mean, they're back to their self. So,
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they still have that. So,
I think Celicus would be thinking about the correlation between like what he was taught when he entered into the temple of Draconia's relationship between Bahamut and Tiamat.
Okay. I would say, I mean, as a rule, Draconia kind of on its face denied much of the idea of the gods. They were more into, like, they knew they existed, but they very much didn't view them as beings to be necessarily worshipped. Mostly maybe worked with, bargained with, sometimes, appeased, but viewed them just as really creatures of immense power. So as far as those relationships, it was certainly that Bahamut would be a preferable one, as they tended to deal a little more straightforward, but was a little too strict to the letter of certain deals. While Tiamat seemed to always want to get one over, was the way that they would think. But they would actually subscribe value to studying either for what secrets you could gather about draconic blood and heritage and power. There are big believers that the color of your skin did not influence your disposition either way. And they always believe to try to get beyond it.
I'm like aggressively writing. And okay, then Seleucus truly thinks that his vision is coming from Bahamut in this sense, but he also is trying to like figure out like what Tiamat has to do with all of it. Is it like are they in this weird sense deciding to like work together in a sense to like keep Draconia from outside draconic forces kind of thing? Or are they like combating each other for like
Okay.
this?
I think as you're really trying to understand,
That's what that's where
This-
Seleucus's brain is.
yeah. Click on do an insight as you're really trying to get what's trying to happen here.
$14.
Okay. As you're studying this, trying to understand, you view all this as the visions and some of what you've even been seeing. Bahamut shouldn't really have a care necessarily. But you have tended, your own views have differed from strict draconian views. You start to realize this has been tailored to you. And in that, you're not sure this has anything to do with any god. But it just wants to be left alone and do its job. And is doing what it needs to do to people who would disturb it. just wants to rebuild Draconia.
Oh man. Talk about sad boy hours.
It seems like it's just been manipulating, and you think it manipulated the kobold by pretending to be Tiamat. It might be trying to manipulate you by giving you the sense it's just trying to do its job.
Then I definitely think Celicus would kind of fall to his knees and start crying. He
Do Dragonborn have
would.
tear ducts?
I don't know.
Now they do.
I'm gonna assume that they do now because he is sad and he is crying. He has
Oh.
tear ducts.
Do you also have the double eyelids?
I don't know, Jonathan. We're not going into biology semantics.
We're having a moment here. Having a moment. Ours would see this. Celestial Youth would kind of look in surprise as Celicus begins to cry. His expression will turn to one of almost immediate sympathy and empathy. And he would just silently, gently set a hand on his shoulder.
Can you remind me, how far away are we from the gym that is surrounded by the 5 kobolds?
Currently, it'd be about 60 feet away.
Okay. And so there's the 5 kobolds and the bugs in the room. Are there any other creatures that we can see in here?
No.
Or constructs.
Not that you can tell right now. Give me a perception check there, Alaric.
Uh, 17.
Okay. 17. Looking beyond and more towards the walls, you can see what looks like crafted and put together draconic figures that set into the walls. As well as like little almost cubby holes, alcoves that seem to have kobolds standing within, but look like they're in some type of stasis. Very slight glow around them.
Oh, this gym has a lot of ways to protect itself. With that in mind, this is probably the more passive way of dealing with threats.
would I have had like the bugs trying to come in and had like the flashback to my vision at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have jumped just 10 feet away from everybody and like feeling it inside me cast Arms of Hadar, which is an emanation from myself to try and stop whatever is crawling into my brain.
I would say with an emanation, yeah, I think you are able to begin to crush those things easy enough because you're using this like pretty powerful spell.
So I don't know if they would have seen me do it, but it would have been like a jump to the side just because I know how the spell works. I'm not trying to hurt the rest of them, even if it might help them with their worm problem. Because I'm not ready to down somebody just for the sake of the worms. And just kind of like clap my hands and then expand them into a circle as this just bursts out from me.
Whisper believed when she made the oath, the only way of getting through the door was to be truthful and honest, and so she was, and she's not fighting the bugs at all.
Okay. So what would y'all like to do?
You
I
okay,
think
Celica?
We should leave.
If that's what you believe is the correct course of action, I trust you. Although we did a lot to get here.
Celica's kind of like wipes his face and shakes everything off and stuff and turns to Xanatos and says, "We're not giving this stone to Grimshale."
Okay, why is that?
Whisper will
Everything-
stand next to Celicus and say, because it's somebody's future home.
Everything that we've been told about the heart of Tiamat, the whole protector or destroyer, it's part of its defense. This whole place. All of it.
What do you mean?
The visions that we've all been having. It's all part of it.
Or are you saying the gem
It
has been
shows
trying to
us-
manipulate?
It shows us what we want to see. A perfectly tailored vision to get us to keep it safe. To keep it secret.
I see. But it's not the heart of Tiamat. It's not evil.
It's the very heart of Draconia. It must be. Whatever made it created enough defense mechanisms around it that it endures. It's probably
Draconians made it.
Okay, so I have no knowledge of Draconia. So what is the bad part if this were to go to Grimshield, why would that be bad? I'm asking out of ignorance, not arrogance.
It wouldn't be able to complete its work. She would use its power for something else.
What is it exactly?
It's the heart of Draconia. The magic that was put in place so that Draconia can be reconstructed, so that someday it could be home again.
So it's a sentient rock.
That's the impression I'm getting.
I don't know that it
No,
has to be
it's moving.
sentient. You can weave intricate magic to perform certain tasks. Give it a set of instructions to follow, given a circumstance. And so it might just be following protocols it was given,
Contingencies?
if necessary. It could be sentient, but it could also just be an intricate set of commands it's following from its creator.
Either way, I don't want to get on its bad side. If this thing's truly going to rebuild Draconia, then we should leave it alone. And if it's not evil, well, there's no motivation in destroying it or anything.
But to that end, if we are, which I think some of us already have, decided to side as Draconia's protectors rather than giving this to Grimshield, then we need to convince this thing that we're in its best interest and hopefully get some protection against Grimshield.
I wish there was a better way of talking with it than having it a brain up inside, or a bug up inside my skull.
Yes, that I didn't enjoy that either.
Oh yeah, I didn't let that happen.
It seemed really hostile.
Well, it's just possibly the only way it can communicate is via the bugs.
So, we were hired by the League. So how do we protect it from them?
That's the big
We're going to be
question.
coming down the same paths we went, and we can't keep showing up with nothing.
What if we give the League Grimshield
How do we give them Grimshield?
information?
Oh, okay. How do we get past Grimshield to give the League information about them?
I'm hoping this glowing heart of Draconia can help us with that. But I think that requires us to all renounce Grimshield's gifts. That's a guess.
I'm willing to do that. I've not felt right ever since it put its magic on me. It doesn't agree with my innate magic, I don't think.
Put my Electrum.
Calder, perhaps you should start considering the fact that you've been uncommonly tied to Electrum since that particular moment.
I didn't get this till we got back. What are you talking about? And my mithril skin flakes.
We're probably gonna have to, telling them about Grimshield doesn't get them to back off from,
What if-
digging down this way.
What if, hear me out, we see what Whisper gets, since Whisper's already reneged on that deal, and then maybe we can make decisions after that.
Very utilitarian, but viable. Well, maybe that's not the correct language.
Well, okay. I'm going to take out my dagger.
Don't stab yourself in the ear. The worm's already in there. You're foobarred in that regard.
No. I left that behind. I'm good.
Oh,
And kind of going with what Whisper did. I renounce the gifts of Grimshale and vow to be a protector of Draconia. And I will slide the blade through my palm and kind of offer it to the door.
So you're going back?
I don't think we went very far into the room. Maybe, I don't know.
I got the impression we just basically stepped through the door and then all this happened.
You are roughly 15 feet in.
Okay.
You did like come in to see this. Going with the convention Dungeons & Dragons, like we come into the room, so that we can do the things.
I just knew that the door was magically warded to accept this.
Right. So putting your blood out, the crystal does seem to churn, react, and you too feel the presence of Grimshale kind of exit. And in your view here, it's like a black oil drips out of your wound.
Oh.
And then burns away on the ground.
Celicus. Oh.
Go ahead.
Celicus too takes the dagger, cuts his palm, and renounces Grimshale, and makes an oath to be a protector of Draconia.
Ours would kind of look down at the ground. Be a protector. I don't like the responsibility that comes with that word. I intend to leave Draconia at some point. I don't want to be bound here. But I don't want to cut myself.
I cut you.
Okay, just give me the knife. Give me the knife.
You might want to prestidigitate it first, just...
Oh, yes, of
Unless
course.
you
I
wanna
would
make
not
blood
want my blood mingling with that of my inferiors.
I mean, I'm already. What did he say in my dream? My blood's already diluted. Definitely don't mix with mine.
Yes, no, I'm too pure for that.
So you do the cut.
Yeah.
There's lightning that surges through the body of Celicus, almost energized by the crystal before you, as it burns away the influence and power. And your natural white and golden light just gets a hint of blue, ours. As it powers the same thing. And around those of you who have done it thus far, there's just swirling energies similar to your own mixture of lightning and radiance. Those winds for Whisper, and even runes and spell insignias around Alaric.
I prestidigitate the dagger clean. Like, I don't want you accidentally undiluting my blood. And I go,
Equals sanitization.
I'm not going to be the one to cause a genocide. I reject Scribshale.
I renounce Grimshale, and I vow to be a friend to Draconia.
Yeah. Interesting. Miss Calder, make everyone so far has made the positive.
Oh, right. There's a second half to it.
Just asking. And I'm not trying to force any of this. Y'all just walked into this.
Trying to think what he would say. I will be an ally to Draconia. Friend seems too personal to be with a whole nation. Protector, not really my vibe, but like we can chill, like we can help each other out.
So now
I'll use friend because I could use friends.
so we're curious about now Xanatos. I imagine has a lot of turmoil.
Like above table, like I've been like struggling with this for like while everything's been going on. Like,
yeah, we can wait till next week if you want time, or we can take care of it. I think, and no one's forcing anything. We're all about working with story.
Yeah.
So I think you as a player should not feel pressure. I think everyone is like figuring out how their characters would do this. So I want to give you that freedom, and we would figure it out, because you're not going to be made to slice someone's head off. They're not going to suddenly attack you. It's not a betrayal. We're just figuring out characters here. We're figuring out stuff. So I don't want to make you feel like you have to do something that is outside of who your character is.
yeah, I just like above table, I just like don't know enough of like Draconia, like, and I guess even my character doesn't know enough Draconia, like, to thoughts of like, why does it need to come back? Like, what is so necessary about it? Why is this? Does it have to be this home? Why can't it be somewhere else to be a home? And like, because like you heard Whisper saying that, but like just the ignorance is like super strong with this guy.
Okay.
And so it's just like why, like, and technically like Grimshell hasn't said like what the intention is, but there might be something that I/Xanatos doesn't know about why Draconia is so important. If that makes sense.
Yes. I think, and this I think is a good point, because I feel like Xanatos, I thought this when Xanatos was reaching out and asking those questions. And so I guess Molly, can Celicus talk, and if this sounds good to you, Mikey, as well. So I just want to make sure this would actually do what I'm thinking. Celicus talk more, I think, forward about it. Do you feel like you can do that? Because I feel like the answer was a little cryptic and a little broad. I also knew you were writing and thinking like crazy while you were doing it as a player. Because I felt like Xanatos was sort of reaching out to understand, and the answer wasn't necessarily full of, it was just like home, it's good. Is there a piece you feel like Xanatos can give that's a little clearer? Sorry, Celicus can give that's a little clearer.
I was like making like affirming like yes, yes, and I realized I was muted, and like you were just going through it, and I was like, yes, he must be hearing me.
Cool. Would that help
Yes.
a little bit, Xanatos? Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I just want to make sure I'm interpreting right. Cool.
So I think if Xanatos like in this moment like asks that like why does there need to be another Draconian? Why does it need to come back? Celicus would kind of give like this bit about how when he was a child, like the amount of Dragonborn that he knew of were like it was like infinitesimal. There were so many Draconians beyond number that he could count, and he was a child, so like that's a lot to a child. There were like rich families, poor families, all numbers of like different from different walks of life, craftsmen, painters, storytellers, and all of a sudden, one day, all of that was gone. The whole city fell from the sky, and it was obliterated. And all of the people that happened to survive had to figure out what to do in the aftermath. And some of them had nothing. And when they asked for help, a lot of them were turned away. They weren't given help if they didn't have anything to provide back, like gold or magical artifacts. And there were some people that did help them just out of the kindness of their hearts, but even then there wasn't enough space for all of them. And he and his remaining family ended up in the slums, and his sister got a job like working for a pittance that barely even paid like for the food that they got to eat. And where they lived, it wasn't a home. It was a bedroll in an alleyway that they shared together. So knowing that Draconia is like rebuilding itself, that there is a potential that this could be a home again, not just for him, but for like other young Dragonborn who have never known Draconia, who could someday walk the same cobblestone streets, see the same buildings. Maybe there would still be the same books in libraries, or the same fountains that kids would throw coppers into. And then maybe even for some of the older ones, the ones that survived too, they'd be able to come home again. And he'd also say how it hurt a little bit to realize that the vision was so tailored to him that it made him believe again. That
Right.
maybe he was just a little bit important enough that Bahamut himself gave him a vision.
All right, so to clarify, this thing that is rebuilding Draconia, is it rebuilding just like the buildings in the city, or is it rebuilding the art, the books, the knowledge, like everything? Is it just structures, or is it just like all the internal stuff as well?
Celicus is under the impression that there are other things like operating that have preserved things, like the constructs we saw. They were like they were hardwired to keep things safe, like treasure or like keepsakes and whatnot. And as the heart itself, it's wired to rebuild the buildings and also transfer information, I guess, to these constructs possibly. And maybe once the buildings are rebuilt, they will start filling the buildings with the things that they've been told to like keep safe. That's what Celicus believes. But he believes that the heart has been is there to rebuild Draconia back, the buildings itself, so that it can be filled again with something.
Okay. I have made my decision. Okay, I got it. So I think at this point, hearing all this, understanding like what the true goal, like why this place and all that, I think Xanatos would look at the crystal, right? Because that's the vibe. That's this crystal like talking, and he would walk, like give like a few steps forward to show that it's somewhat separated from the party, but like still like pretty close, not going directly up to it. And he would audibly say that to the crystal, I have made many choices on rash decisions and not knowing all the information. For Draconia, I do not yet renounce Grimchill. However, I am an ally to Draconia, as I understand the loss of a home. Once we go to see Grimchill, I do want to give Grimchill the opportunity to explain themselves. But if there's deception or that they are trying to harm Draconia, as we saw with another black dragon that was against them, then I will stand and renounce Grimchill and fight for Draconia.
The crystal. I think the crystal glows as it takes in what has been said. And light begins to come further out. And we're in there for tonight. So watching, thank you so much. Come back next week.
Good night.
Night.